Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a collection of stories so strange you won't believe they're real. Seriously, you just can't make this stuff up. Sometimes the most ordinary-looking people have the most absolutely bizarre secrets. And that's exactly what we're getting into today. Let's dive right in. All right, first up, we've got a young couple, Jason and Samantha. They find this super charming rental house, right? The owner's this guy named Arnold. Everything seems perfect. I mean, perfect. But yeah, you guessed it. That dream home vibe, it didn't last long. So one night, Samantha's home alone, just got out of the shower, and she gets that chilling feeling. You know the one I'm talking about? Where the hair on your arm stands up because you just know you're being watched? She looks over at her window, and yep, she sees a tiny little movement. She peeks through the curtain, and oh my God, it's Arnold, her landlord, shamelessly watching her and, get this, licking his chops. Now, you'd think this is the part where he runs away mortified, right? Nope, not Arnold. What he does next is it's beyond belief. So Samantha confronts him, totally freaked out, and his response? His response is not, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's, "I don't care how good you look and where's my rent money." I mean, the sheer audacity. He gets caught being a total creep, and his first move is to demand rent that wasn't even due yet? Wow. So, as you can probably guess, this whole thing blew up. Arnold ended up facing some legal trouble and a whole lot of public shaming. And Samantha and Jason, well, they got one heck of a story to tell at parties. And I'm guessing they invested in some seriously heavy-duty blackout curtains after that. Okay, moving on from creepy to, well, just plain clueless. Our next tale is a perfect example of how family dinners can go so wrong. All it takes is a nosy grandma and one, let's just say, misplaced item. So we've got Miranda visiting her 78-year-old grandma. The problem? She just got this, let's call it an innovative and mischievous toy from a bachelorette party, and she totally forgot to hide it. And of course, before she can grab it, who stumbles upon it? Grandma. And what does Grandma think it is? A beautiful decoration, obviously. And she doesn't just put it on a shelf. Oh no. She makes this rosé-colored object, the grand centerpiece for the family Christmas dinner table. Just let that sink in. The whole family's there, about to eat turkey and stuffing, gathered around this festive ornament. You can just imagine the scene, right? The family is trying to be polite, but they're definitely confused. You've got an uncle whispering to an aunt, "You don't know where that thing's been." And she's just like, "Oh, you know, Mama, she cleaned it real good before putting it on the table." They have no idea. But the centerpiece is about to clear up all the confusion. Right in the middle of dinner conversation, it happens. The table ornament suddenly starts to vibrate. The horror on everyone's face must have been absolutely priceless. Needless to say, that centerpiece mysteriously disappeared by the end of the night. And Miranda, she walked away with a story that will haunt family gatherings forever. All right, if you thought that was awkward, buckle up. We're now escalating from cringeworthy to absolutely horrifying. This next story is about a love potion and a family recipe that should have been burned, buried, and forgotten centuries ago. Okay, so this guy Charles is dating a woman named Jocelyn. He's totally in love with her, but there's this weird problem. Every single time she makes her special family recipe spaghetti, he gets violently ill. Doctors have no clue what's wrong. He just thinks, "Man, I must have a really sensitive stomach." Oh, Charles, if only you knew. So one night, he's watching her cook, and he notices something off. The pasta sauce is this weirdly deep, almost sinister-looking shade of red. And that's when the alarm bells start going off in his head. He decides he's going to watch her like a hawk, because he just has to know what's making him so sick. And what he discovered, I'm not even sure how to say this nicely, he found out that Jocelyn was mixing her menstrual blood into the pasta sauce. Yeah, you heard me. That was a secret family ingredient. Apparently, it was some kind of old superstition she got from her mom. So this whole thing was supposed to be a red love potion, an ancient custom to bind a man to a woman forever. Well, it didn't exactly work. Charles was understandably disgusted and completely betrayed. He broke up with her immediately, and I think it's safe to say he probably never looked at a plate of spaghetti the same way ever again. And for our grand finale, we have a story that serves as a powerful reminder of why you should, maybe, just maybe, always choose truth. This is what happens when a friendly reunion and a game of truth or dare go horribly, horribly wrong. So you've got four buddies at a hotel reunion, right? They decide to play truth or dare. It starts off pretty standard. Prank calls, jumping in the pool, that kind of stuff. But then the dares start getting wilder and crazier, and pretty soon, common sense just went right out the window. Then we have Jerry. Jerry, who clearly has a wicked sense of humor, dares his friend Adam to, okay, here we go, perform an act of douching using hot sauce. And Adam, not wanting to back down, not wanting to look weak, actually agrees. You can just feel the room go silent, right? So Adam goes off to the bathroom to do the deed. A few moments later, an absolutely agonizing scream comes from behind the door. His friends rush in and find him crumpled on the floor in excruciating pain. Yeah, the party was over. Next stop, the emergency room, via ambulance. The good news is Adam survived after a lot of medical treatment, and his friends, they learned a pretty valuable lesson that night about, maybe not daring your buddies to put hot sauce in sensitive places. For them, truth or dare will never be just a game again. They learned their lesson the hard way, the very, very spicy way. So after all of that, what's the weirdest story you've ever heard? These stories just go to show that sometimes real life is way, way stranger and honestly funnier than anything you could ever make up. Thanks for tuning in.